On March 11, 2011, Japan experienced a catastrophic earthquake and tsunami. The disaster's impact was far-reaching, most devastatingly at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Built in the 1960s and 70s, the Fukushima Daiichi complex housed 6 boiling water reactors. Its coastal location, chosen for cooling water access, would prove to be its greatest vulnerability. At 2:46 p.m., the Tohoku earthquake, a magnitude 9.0, struck offshore. It was the most powerful earthquake ever recorded in Japan and one of the strongest globally. The plant's automatic safety systems immediately kicked in. Reactors 1, 2, and 3, which were operational, safely shut down, their control rods inserted to halt nuclear fission. But the earthquake's devastation was only beginning. Minutes later, a colossal tsunami, triggered by the undersea quake, surged towards the coast. The tsunami, far larger than the plant's seawall was designed to withstand, overwhelmed the facility. It swept through the site, disabling critical infrastructure. The most critical consequence was the loss of all AC power. This meant the cooling systems, essential for removing decay heat from the reactors, were rendered inoperable. Even after shutdown, nuclear fuel continues to generate significant heat through radioactive decay. Without active cooling, this heat would build up. Within hours, the situation became dire. Reactor 1's core temperature soared. Without cooling, the fuel rods began to melt, a catastrophic nuclear meltdown. The extreme heat caused water to boil and split into hydrogen and oxygen. This highly flammable hydrogen gas began to accumulate within the reactor buildings. On March 12, 2011, the accumulated hydrogen in Reactor 1's turbine building ignited. The resulting explosion ripped through the structure, releasing radioactive material into the atmosphere. The crisis escalated as reactors 2 and 3 also experienced meltdowns. Their containment structures were compromised, further increasing the release of dangerous radioactive isotopes. The damage wasn't confined to the operational reactors. The spent fuel pool at Reactor 4, containing highly radioactive used fuel, also lost its cooling and became a critical concern. On March 14, a massive hydrogen explosion occurred at Reactor 4, destroying the building and exposing the spent fuel pool to the open air. This was a major turning point in the disaster. Authorities ordered the evacuation of residents within a 20-kilometer radius of the plant. Hundreds of thousands of people were forced to flee their homes, leaving behind their lives and livelihoods. The disaster released significant amounts of radioactive isotopes like cesium and iodine into the environment. Radiation monitoring became a constant and critical task. Stabilizing the damaged reactors and preventing further radioactive release became an immense and dangerous undertaking. Workers faced extreme risks to contain the ongoing crisis. Massive amounts of contaminated water were generated from efforts to cool the reactors and fight fires. Storing and treating this water became a monumental challenge. Years of painstaking work followed. Decommissioning the Fukushima Daiichi plant is a decades-long process, involving the complex and hazardous removal of radioactive fuel and contaminated materials. The human cost of the disaster is immeasurable. Families were torn apart, communities displaced, and the psychological toll on survivors continues to this day. Radiation contamination impacted agriculture and fisheries in the surrounding regions, leading to economic hardship and long-term concerns about food safety. The Fukushima disaster served as a stark reminder of the potential dangers of nuclear energy and prompted a global re-evaluation of safety standards and emergency preparedness. Large areas around the plant remain under strict control, a testament to the lingering radiation. Yet, nature is slowly beginning to reclaim these abandoned landscapes. The legacy of Fukushima is ongoing. The immense task of decontamination and the safe disposal of nuclear waste continues to challenge scientists and policymakers. The Fukushima Daiichi nuclear disaster stands as a profound lesson in the power of nature and the critical importance of preparedness, resilience, and respect for the forces we harness.